Nha Trang's exceptional diversity of species is the highest of all Vietnam's coastal waters, representing about 50% of the entire Vietnamese totals for many groups. Some 3,000 marine species, about 1,200 genera, from nearly 500 families have been recorded here since 2002.
Hello, welcome to Expat Living. Today you're here with me learning at the beautiful bay of Nha Trang, known as one of the richest and most diverse marine biodiversity area in the Southeast Asia. Nha Trang is an ideal destination for scientists and biologists to come and do research. And among them, there's this group of 3 Russian scientists who have spent nearly 10 years researching the coral reefs and the important animals and sea creatures that are strongly associated to the coral reefs, which plays an essential role in maintaining the marine life. So let's go find out who they are right now.
Right next to the beach in Nha Trang, 3 Russian scientists operate out of a laboratory at the Institute of Oceanography. They were among the first in the world to provide thorough scientific descriptions of coral reefs. Based in Vietnam since 2002 as part of a joint research program between the Vietnam Academy of Science and Technology and the Institute of Marine Biology in Russia, they have released impressive scientific results regarding coral biodiversity in Nha Trang Bay and highlighted ways to sustainably preserve that diversity. Dr. Tatiana Dotova, coordinator of the project, specializes in soft coral research.
Soft corals are an important group for coral reef ecosystem. Unfortunately, up to date, this group is unstudied in Vietnam. In my book, I like to find the main characters of Vietnam soft corals, to know how we can grow with the corals.
Dr. Salim Dotova specializes in researching sea urchins, a species integral to the survival of the coral reefs.
Sea urchins are important as they eat sea algae. This creates safe spaces for coral larvae to grow.
Dr. Igor Domatov studies sea cucumbers, another important sea animal living on the coral reefs.
Sea cucumbers clean the coral reefs by eating sand. They cleanse it with bacteria in their stomach and then pass the clean sand back out.
All marine animals, marine vegetables are elements of this marine ecosystem.
Studies of highly reproductive creatures like soft corals, sea urchins, and sea cucumbers therefore play a crucial role.
Because they help maintain coral reef diversity, marine biodiversity, and human lives in general.
Due to their great significance, these studies warrant the time, effort, and of course, the passion that goes into them.
So right now I'm on the way to the laboratory because today I have a chance to join our Russian scientists in a field trip. And by field trip, I mean a diving trip to collect specimens from the sea. So let's go find out what we need to prepare for the trip. Hey.
Besides the essential diving equipment, we need to carry a heavy load of bottles, tubes, knives, and nets, which are all necessary for collecting and processing specimens. And of course, a specialized high-quality underwater camera.
When you touch one flash, up to 40 meters.
So people dive and then they take pictures.
The place we're heading to right now is Hon Mun Island. This is the first marine protected area in Vietnam, housing the most biodiverse coral reefs in the entire country with abundant sea creatures. This is the main area where the scientists conduct the research.
I dived here many times, but never have enough power and time to collect all. Because of this place is really rich.
It's really rich. And
every time I take only small piece of coral for identification under the microscope, and every time I think, I will back. I will back.
You will be back, right?
Yeah.
Never enough. So we have now arrived at Moon Island, and everyone is getting ready to get into the water. Since this is a protected area and I haven't got a diving certificate, so I'm gonna just stay here.
Today is very perfect weather for diving. Calm water, very warm, no hot sun. It is good for photography. Salim will accompany me, and Igor will swim separately to find his animals. I will make photo underwater. My bottles are ready, they are labeled by numbers. It will allow me to take very small sample for future identification of species and place this sample into the labeled bottle. And I will make additional photography of the bottle underwater. It allows me in the future to compose together photo of full colony and number of sample.
Soft corals are important group for human life, are very rich source of bioactive compounds of natural origin. These compounds can be used as drugs. These drugs can protect people against cancer, against many different diseases. So it is very important to know how many species, to know how people can grow soft corals at marine farms to protect coral reefs and to have very good amount for future pharmaceutical industry.
Not only soft corals, but other sea animals living in the reefs, like sea urchins or sea cucumbers, also provide huge biological, economic, and medical benefits.
Sea cucumbers and sea urchins are of interest to us, not just because they promote growth in coral reefs. They belong to the Echinotum family, a group of marine animals with remarkable powers of regeneration for tissues, organs, limbs, and for asexual reproduction. The main task of Salimani is studying this regeneration mechanism. In every field trip, we collect different types of sea urchins and sea cucumbers to find out in what creatures the regeneration and reproduction process happens the fastest and strongest.
As this regeneration mechanism of organs becomes clearer to us, we can apply it to human organs as well.
After 1 hour of diving, the scientists return to the boat. Here, I have a chance to look at the amazingly beautiful animals they've collected.
This is such a rare and beautiful starfish. I've never seen this type before. Do you know that starfish, sea urchins, and sea cucumbers are siblings in the same Echinotum family? Although I mainly focus on studying sea cucumbers, whenever I find rare specimens, I collect them so they can be referenced through the Nha Trang Institute of Oceanography.
These are the sea urchins I collected. I need their sperm and eggs for our next laboratory experiment on their reproductive capabilities.
For soft corals, the specimens have to be processed right after each dive.
It is very important to reprocess material when fresh.
Oh, wow. So can I help you with something?
Oh, please, because of you see, I have gloves to protect my hands. If you will so kind to make notes,
Oh, sure.
it will great.
Yeah, I love to.
Thank you.
Okay.
Firstly, will number of bottle.
This is my first time doing this, so.
Go control.
Okay, yeah.
I will cut small pieces of this coral into this tube. This tube contains very pure alcohol, so I will keep small pieces for DNA, future genetical molecular investigations. The rest of colony I will label with number and will put into the simple alcohol to keep it for future identification under the microscope.
The team makes 2 more dives, then return to the lab at dusk. Returning to the lab, I help Tatiana arrange the specimen bottles and tubes. Then we import pictures from the camera to her computer. At this stage, she can begin identifying the collected specimens by comparing them to the images in her database.
If I will find here any specimen, which specimen I cannot identify using all literature, I will come to a resolution. This is new for science. And I will go to scanning electron microscope to make many experiments and publish paper.
So far, how many new species have you discovered?
In Nha Trang Bay, 20.
20.
Already published. You see, it means
Together with other scientists, Tatiana has published numerous books releasing the results of her research on marine biodiversity in Nha Trang Bay. These volumes are the first documents in the world to provide such detailed descriptions of coral reefs, she said.
This book contains morphological descriptions of all these species. So any people who use English can collect soft corals for management, for study of biodiversity, for teaching, for education, and read this book and identify species and know many about the morphology of these species.
Sometimes, but with a coach, like somebody with wrapped neck and then pulling.
These stunning creatures are different types of sea urchins Salim collected from the sea. He's about to do a very interesting experiment with them.
This experiment is to evaluate and compare the reproductive capabilities of 2 different types of sea urchins. First, I inject a small amount of potassium chloride into their bodies, and immediately the male urchins release sperm, while the females release eggs. Then I mix the sperm and eggs together and leave them for a day. This is the mixture from yesterday, which is now ready to be seen under the microscope. The results are impressive. After only 1 day, the sperm and egg mixture of purple sea urchins formed up to 10 million urchin larvae, while short sea urchins form only 10. From this, I can conclude that the first type has better reproductive capabilities in an artificial environment, and so will yield greater benefits if we raise them in marine farms. This not only helps preserve natural marine biodiversity, but also allows people to benefit from sea urchins' medical properties.
Complementing Tatiana and Salim's work, Professor Igor has also gained significant results with his research.
Sea lilies.
In Vietnam, I have identified various new sea cucumbers that hadn't been identified before. These animals have an amazing ability to reproduce asexually by dividing in 2. with each half regenerating the missing organs in only a few months. I'm continuing my research on this process. Once completed, its results can also be applied to studies investigating the regeneration of missing limbs in humans. We've published books on this and given them to the Institute of Oceanography. We've also shared this research experience with local scientists.
Well, our Russian scientists do not work alone, but instead they have been closely coordinating with other Vietnamese colleagues here at the Institute of Oceanography. Despite language barriers, the Vietnamese colleagues have been supporting the team in every stage of the research.
These 1,000 marine specimens preserved at the Institute of Oceanography are the result of hard work carried out by numerous Vietnamese and foreign scientists. Many of these specimens were contributed by our 3 Russian scientists.
Họ ở một cái chuẩn mực rất là cao ở trong cái công tác làm việc, cái tính nguyên tắc tuân thủ về phương pháp cũng như là thời gian làm việc, cái sự nhiệt tình trong công việc đáng để mà học hỏi.
As the leading marine research center in Vietnam, conducting fundamental and applied research in the fields of oceanography and marine resources, the nearly century-old Institute of Oceanography provides Vietnamese and foreign scientists with huge resources to collaborate and do research.
Những cái chuyến công tác chung, hai nhóm cùng đi và hỗ trợ nhau để thu mẫu, và rồi cái mẫu đó thì sẽ chia sẻ cho hai bên. Ở trong phòng thí nghiệm thì các nhóm sẽ làm việc với nhau với những cái thiết bị của Viện Hải dương học và những cái thiết bị mà chuyên gia Nga đem sang bên này. Tại Viện Hải dương học sẽ giải quyết những cái vấn đề như là định danh tất cả cái sản phẩm sinh dục của các cái đối tượng nghiên cứu. Về nghiên cứu tế bào thì các cái mẫu vật sẽ được nghiên cứu tại phân viện Viện Đông ở Nga.
During my research in Vietnam, I've received lots of support from my Vietnamese colleagues. Despite their young age, they're very competent and passionate about science. We've gradually become like a family.
Một cái tình cảm rất là thân mật và chân thành, rất là tự nhiên nó nảy sinh như vậy, và nó trở lại, nó hỗ trợ trong công việc nghiên cứu nó dễ dàng hơn và có chiều sâu hơn.
I treasure this precious friendship, and I want to contribute more to the preservation of marine biodiversity here.
I hope can show very high result relating biodiversity of stony corals, soft corals, holothurians, any other marine species.
Our research will hopefully make people more aware of the significance of maintaining marine biodiversity. I also hope that we'll continue to receive support from our Vietnamese colleagues and friends.
Thank you.
With the intensifying heat at the start of the football season all across the world, Vietnam certainly doesn't miss a thing. So let's take some time out this week as our Michael Liu will take you through the shenanigans of the football fever here in Vietnam.
Football is the global king of sports, and it streams through the veins of die-hard Vietnamese fans. Like the electrifying atmospheres of international stadiums around the world, but with a special Vietnamese twist, football fever here promises every expat football fanatic the blast of their lives. expats who just came to Vietnam and wondered how you might fulfill your football crazes? Well, you may as well just start right here in the middle of football craziness in Nha International Stadium. Well, what are you waiting for? Let's get the party started. There's a foul!
Cổ động viên bóng đá Việt Nam thì tuyệt vời luôn. Tất cả là màu cờ sắc áo đỏ rực một sân vận động Mỹ Đình và những cái làn sóng chạy vòng quanh. Không khí của bóng đá Việt Nam cực kỳ là sôi động.
Joining the Red Army of football fans, you may get to indulge in heroic tunes of Vietnamese patriotic music besides the rocking roars and rhythm of Vietnamese football chants. Occasionally, this chant even wins the hearts of our adversaries as well. Some even defected to the Red Tornado.
I'm here to support Vietnam. I like Australia, but I love Vietnam.
United by the love for Vietnamese football, fans have disregarded all rivalries to put on an astonishing display of passion for football.
Chúng tôi đang đi dần dần vào cái chuyên nghiệp. Cái thanh quản của chúng ta nhỏ, nhưng mà chúng ta tận dụng được để chúng ta phát huy nó thành những hoạt động cổ vũ, coi như là nó gây hiệu ứng trên sân.
Now that you've beheld international football played by professionals, you might want to experience it for yourself. As usual, every game begins with a warm-up session, and video game lounges like PS4 Paradise have all the facilities. So in Vietnam, not only is football played by foot but also by hand as well. The best way to warm up before an important football game is through virtual football. Besides, you get yummy food, drinks and free Wi-Fi as well. What more can a football fan ask for? Next time, mate. Next time. Before things get real physical at a football match, players or fans often take to football video games like FIFA or Pro Evolution Soccer at home, except that Vietnam has a different take on the virtual football atmosphere.
Tất nhiên là nó phải sôi động hơn. Bạn thử nghĩ nếu bạn chơi một mình ở nhà, kể game nhập pha hay là bóng đá cũng thế, đúng không? Thì cái không khí ở trong nhà lúc nào chỉ một mình bạn cảm nhận được cái không khí đó thôi. Còn đây ở xung quanh bạn có rất nhiều người. Trong một căn phòng có khoảng tầm 6 đến 10 người. Mỗi người tạo lên một cái không khí riêng mà nó cùng sôi động cùng với cái trong cái căn phòng đó.
Vietnamese game lounges are often packed on footy day, with screen after screen of footy played by virtual Messi, Ronaldo or Neymar. Through video games, fans can find redemption for grave football defeats or make football fantasies come true. Time's up for virtual football. Now it's time for some real action as we take you to grassroots pitches where expats and locals, no matter the cultures, share the same language of football. Hello again, this is your own Michael Liu coming straight from Royal Arena to bring to you all the excitement of this interesting fixture between Chengdu FC and Real Madrid.
However, due to a last-minute transfer, I've been selected by the guys at Real Madrid to join the action. Well, it's time to represent PTV and time for kick-off. Hello boys, how are we doing today? Yeah. Right, so your opponents are over there and they look really dangerous. So, have you got any secret weapon for today?
Okay guys, we are different individuals, okay? We all have our own strengths and weaknesses, but the only weapon we have today is to play as a team, to fight as a team, and everyone fight for each other. That's how Real Madrid has been for the past 7 years.
It's
okay?
teammate, man!
7 years of age, and Real Madrid is a strong unity consisting of overseas Vietnamese and expat footballers that regularly host games with the local and international communities in Vietnam. Today, they take on another fearsome expat adversary of English teachers from Checho FC.
Something that's common between the Western and the Eastern culture is a love of football. We all like playing football and having a good time, and being able to play with Vietnamese friends and against Vietnamese teams is a great way to kind of socialise and get to know the area and the people that live here.
Some foreign football fans are even amazed at the Vietnamese passion for football shown across football fields here.
So many pitches around Hanoi, more than I've ever seen in the UK. So I think perhaps the love of football in Vietnam is bigger than in England. A lot of us just turned up to a football pitch, and some Vietnamese people invited us to play with them. We just came to watch, but ended up playing.
Despite a shaky start, and Real Madrid came back from behind and snatched the game 5-4. However, both teams came out a winner as they both won hearts of each other through the gallantry on the field, diverse football styles and the love of the game. So, to top off this edition of Time Out, we've immersed in the heat of football fever at Meeting National Stadium, ventured into a premium football game lounge and hit the pitches of Hanoi. Don't be shy, football crazies, and feel more than welcome to follow our football itinerary, as Vietnamese football in general, as well as its loyal patrons, welcome friends from all corners of the world.
That's all we have time for in this edition of Expat Living. As always, all comments and suggestions are welcomed at expatliving@vtv.vn, and you can also watch repeats of our programs online at vtv4.vn. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next episode. Goodbye.